All right, everybody, welcome back. Today, I have two core contributors to the Kong Swap project with me today. We have Shill Gates and Goraz. I guess before we start off, we're going to have a conversation about Kong Swap, the things we have coming. Maybe we get a little alpha dropped. As you guys know who watch my channel, I run the marketing for this project, so I obviously have a clue into what's going on, and it's going to be kind of a free-flowing conversation about what we have, coming up and stuff. But before that, I guess everyone I think knows Shill, but Goral, I guess both you guys introduce yourself. Goral, you can go first.
Yeah, hey, I'm Guras. I've been working on the ICE ecosystem now for the last 3 years. So before working on ConkSwap, I worked on a project called Helix Markets. Yeah, happy to be here.
Okay, and Shill.
I'm Shill. I've been around IC about as much time as Gore's 2, 3 years, and got to start with the Windows stuff, which is where most people know me from, and then now doing some work with Calm.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So the first thing I think let's get into is the Solana integration. So most of you guys, if you've been following the Kong Swap project on X or even the Definity forums or just following my YouTube channel, you've seen me talk about the Solana integration that's come up. And I don't think there's ever been a single uh, like major platform in ICP that's actually done an integration for Solana. I'm not sure, but we are looking to do a Solana integration and hopefully complete it this quarter. So I guess like my first question is what do you guys think that means for the KongSwap platform and like what's coming basically? Do you want to answer
Phil,
that?
do you want to take
Do
it?
you want to answer that, Chill?
Me, I'll take it. Well, what does it mean? I mean, hopefully it means that we open ourselves up to more liquidity and users that are over on Solana. That's the main goal.
Okay. Yeah, and I think it's one of the biggest things that projects in IC need to focus on, and something we've been focusing on at KongSwap is making things as easy as possible for people to get on and making things as frictionless as possible. So like a lot of you guys from the IC, you may not understand this, but some of the things we have in here are a little difficult for people outside of our ecosystem. And what we want to have happen and what the experience should be like on Kong is people are able to come from Solana, Ethereum, and easily come over and be able to understand things and pick things up quickly and trade basically without having this huge learning curve. The more people have to learn when they hop a chain, the less likely they're going to stick or even just come over in the first place because people they're lazy and they don't want to learn new things. So that's kind of something we've been hammering at KongSwap, trying to make things as easy as possible for users. Gora, so the ICP Chain Fusion technology is, what we're utilizing. Could you kind of, speak on that for viewers? Because I can't, really break it down technically, but if you could give kind of like a breakdown of what's actually happening when we integrate with Solana.
Yeah, so I think the one difference that we have, so right up until now, like all chain key has been used was sort of like to get CKBTC or CKE, CKUSDT, which are digital twins from other chains, right? So we're taking this one step further, and we're basically using CK to bring you native Solana, which means like there's not going to be a wrapper around Solana, and Sol is quite a fast chain with like very fast block times. So in theory, when you're like swapping basically Solana for ICP, once we have the integration done, you really won't feel any difference that you're kind of swapping on two different chains. Now, how we make this work is basically our canister has both obviously an ICP address, but it can, because of chain key technology, also have a native Solana address, right? So our pools, which run in stable memory, what that means is basically that we'll have a pool where you'll have Solana on our canister address and you'll have ICP on our canister address, and we'll be basically swapping through our canister Solana for ICP or any other token on KongSwap. So then basically with kind of these synthetic swaps that we have, people from Solana will be able to swap any Sol token that we support or have an LP port for any ICP token or any other chain that we might add in the future, probably like next Bitcoin, native Bitcoin, and then we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And I think I may have mentioned it in this video, but we recently got Phantom integrated into the platform, which is super helpful and allows for us to bring over a lot more users. Um, because once again, people, when they're coming from new chain, they don't want to have to download a new wallet. It's just another thing they have to do and learn. So most people in crypto are on Phantom Wallet, basically the majority of them. So it's going to make it so we can easily onboard people from new chains, etc. Um, so yeah, now you kind of brought one thing up, Goraz. The next thing I was going to kind of ask about the Bitcoin integration. Um, so I guess that has probably been, in my opinion, so far from Definity, probably the most successful thing they've done is probably the integration with Bitcoin, and we've seen Odin Fun has become a huge thing. I think it's like the leading. I'm pretty sure it's the leading Bitcoin DApp right now when it comes to Bitcoin assets like Runes, BRC20, etc. And it's something we're definitely going to be looking to, play into. Bitcoin DeFi is, I think, something that's not going to go away, considering how much liquidity and money is in Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's, always going to be the king, etc. But I guess what is, what are the plans, I guess, for the Bitcoin integration with KongSwap, and what does that, and I guess kind of what does that look like, I guess, under the hood when it comes to that actual integration happening? I guess the same kind of question for Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, we're just going to leverage kind of that you're going to be able to use native Bitcoin on KongSwap. And similar to Odin, we're going to also have like a fast rail through chain key, so that you're not like, stuck for everything that you do for 10 minutes. So if you do an approval, you're not going to like wait 10 minutes before you can do the trade, et cetera, et cetera. So we're going to make sure it's like nice and fast, but based on user preferences, you can either have then your CK version or your native version in your wallets, and we'll do like two different types of settlements. So the UX is pretty much going to be like trading should be fast, but then if you want real Bitcoin in your wallet, you'll have to wait like a block or two. But for the trading part, that should be like really, really fast. So we want to focus on the UX. I guess we'll be also bringing in some more typical Bitcoin ecosystem wallet like Xverse. So yeah, that's I think what's coming in terms of in Bitcoin integration.
Yeah, that sounds really good because the Bitcoin ecosystem definitely does not have as much volume as Solana, but because Bitcoin's so liquid, I do think it's something that's going to stay around. And as you mentioned earlier in that, ultimately, users do not actually, they don't care, they honestly don't care about decentralization at all, and they don't really care about these things that kind of some niche groups in crypto may care about. They really all care about user experience and the ability to make money. That's what traders want. And by leveraging the IC for Bitcoin DeFi, you're basically able to create applications that are, fast, like, and easy to use like Solana, but also, still handling the Bitcoin assets. Because I think in the beginning days of Bitcoin DeFi, it's basically a new sector, even younger than Ethereum DeFi and everything. The platforms were just really, really clunky. And at the end of the day, nobody cares. Oh, it's more decentralized. Oh, it's on the main layer, whatever the fuck. If it's slow and it's clunky and the swaps take minutes, nobody's going to use it. Nobody. People just want to be able to come on and swap as fast as possible. So I think that's like a really big thing that doing Bitcoin DeFi on the IC, it really gives us an edge in everything. So I think that's going to be a huge thing because a lot of the Bitcoin DeFi platforms, they kind of suck, just to be brutally honest. And I think that's one of the reasons why Odin.fun was so successful and has been, is because they've just been able to produce something that's, of course, I see some people complaining. I see some of the Bitcoin maxis complaining. They're like, oh, it's basically just, fake Bitcoin and wrapped and it's on the IC and everything, but nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit, People really just want to have a good experience and make money. So I think that's kind of a huge point and a huge edge the IC has over other chains. And I guess the next thing we could kind of talk about is, because we've kind of already talked about Chain Fusion, which is like a huge narrative on the IC. The next thing we could talk about is the prediction markets on Kong. So Shill, I guess we could give this question to you. What do we, I guess, have coming up, if you can give any sneak peeks of our, upcoming prediction markets update?
Yeah, so we mentioned on the forum and on Twitter and stuff that we made some changes to the prediction markets. So there's a new time weighting system that we have in the prediction market. So the early bettors will be more incentivized to place those bets early, whereas now everybody kind of waits till there's an hour left in the market before they place their bet, and it all just ends up piling into one outcome. But yeah, we're getting pretty close there. I think we're kind of trying to plan it for this week, but we there's a couple little bonus features we added in that we're wrapping up now. So looking like hopefully next week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be absolutely huge. The people have loved the prediction markets, and we are going to give them exactly what they've been asking for. So I think it's going to be super exciting update, and I think it's going to be a bit chaotic, but also going to be a lot of fun, and will be beneficiary towards Kong holders and the Kong platform as well. Like, once again, guys, if you guys ever have suggestions, just come in our Telegram, come in our open chat, and let us know what you want, because we're going to do exactly. Of course, if you just are like one person, you have one really niche thing you need done, probably not going to happen. But if a majority of people, if we have a cohort of people who are saying we want one thing, we'll do it at the end of the day. So yeah, that's something that's going to be super big coming up. I guess the next thing we could talk about is I think we can kind of make this short and simple, this video. Just try and like hit the main points of what we kind of have coming up. But on the forum post that was posted, I don't know, a month ago now, for the Q2 plans, there were talks of limit orders and a predict AI. I guess, Goraz, if you kind of want to talk about those things that we have not mentioned that were on the forum post.
Yeah, so limit orders are basically going to be, there's like one big task that we're going to take on after we get Solana done and probably Bitcoin, which is single-sided liquidity, and limit orders are going to kind of have sort of the same type of functionality as single-sided liquidity. So those will go hand in hand. So basically, if you just don't want to buy kind of current spot price on KongSwap, you'll be able to place a limit order at a price that you would think is better or kind of more affordable for you. So you're going to be able to place a limit order, which is basically when the pool gets there, it's going to trigger automatically. The other feature with Predict AI is basically going to be an extension of prediction markets. So there we will have like a feature where the user, so right now we have prediction markets where you make predictions on certain outcomes, and then it's basically either binary, users make kind of predict on either outcome. And here it's going to be more like a personalized user versus AI type of thing, where user makes a prediction on let's say price, etc., and then he will be able to get some earn some yield on his prediction if it turns out to be correct. So that's kind of like a new type of feature of prediction markets. So there, yeah, I think we're pretty close as well. So we just want to wrap up the big upgrade on prediction markets, and then kind of this Predict AI feature is going to come out as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's absolutely awesome. And I think we hit on kind of like the main points of what we got coming and everything like that. We had an update today. I guess it's not really a major update, but we had an update today on the ICRC3 token. So the ICRC3 tokens are now faster on Kong, which is absolutely awesome. So I guess my next question would be, looking into like this year, what are kind of, I guess I think we all kind of know the goals here are obviously, get more users on the platform, get more money flowing through the platform, all that other stuff. But what are kind of the things, I guess, the long-term goals of Kong you could think of, I guess, in the next year, or maybe multi-year goal? I don't know. Shill, we can start with you.
Me, I'm going to go with the answer I said on Blockchain Phil Show, 100 million end of year TVL.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good answer. Goraz?
Yeah, I mean, it's like most of the things that we're working on. I think we just kind of extend our multi-chain offering so that we can reach as many ecosystems as we can. But as we said, for everybody, like, it should not be about which chain you're on. It should all be about the experience. So yeah, the main thing is we can have very good liquidity on pairs that people can trade, decent size, and then integrate as many wallets as possible, that, whatever your preference is, you can just come on and start trading or start using other features of Kong. I mean, like, we also do have some more things that are in the works or have been in the works for quite a while. that I think are also going to be pretty fun that we're looking to roll out. But I think just kind of now we build a pretty good baseline from where we started 6 months ago. And the focus is going to be on really growing liquidity and growing the user base.
Yeah, 100%. And if you've been watching this project since the beginning, it's changed a lot since the official launch back in I think October of 2024. The platform has changed a lot, gotten a lot better. So I think it's going to be really awesome to see how this platform evolves over the years and everything. And I think there's a ton of potential. Like once again, a lot of the stuff that like with Chain Fusion has not, we haven't really seen that many projects really utilize it. And I think Odin.fund was kind of the first good case study of Chain Fusion technology actually working and really shining and everything. And I think that's probably going to end up being the IC's one of the IC's biggest winners long term. Is the fact that the cross chain is very, very good. It just comes down to a matter of time and everything, and getting, I guess, all the product stuff out and any of that stuff. And I guess, Shill, for the end of this video, do you want to talk about anything you have coming up with Windows 98?
So I got not too much going on over there just yet, but I do have a new plug and play update coming out soon that has some a decent amount of changes and improvements in it. And I just put out a scaffold of a Svelte kit app for that scaffold Svelte kit and plug and play. So that's out there now too.
Yeah, and guys on KongSwap, I don't know if you've checked out the Windows 98 skin, but it's very cool. So a lot of people love that skin. That's been like, I guess, the most loved skin out of every skin we've done so far. Midnight's my favorite though. But yeah, I tried to make this video short and sweet. I think we covered basically what we have coming in the short term and then what we have coming in the long term. Once again, if you've been watching this platform since day one, you know the improvements that have been made and everything. And if you are interested in trying out the platform, once again, it's kongswap.io. You see it as you're watching this. So if you've made it this far, you've seen kongswap.io the whole time. And go follow us on X at kongswapx. And yeah, I guess leave a comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave a like, and all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you for watching.